Welcome back. Room 521. I'm Sammy B.
I'm Sandra B.
I'm Courtney B.
And I'm Chris B. We're going to start this show off with a little bit of scripture first.
Amen.
Right.
Exodus 17, 11, and 12. As long as Moses held up his arms, the Israelites won. But when he put his arms down, the Amalekites started winning. When Moses' arms grew tired, Aaron and Hur brought a stone for him to sit on. While they stood beside him and held up his arms, holding them steady until the sun went down.
Holding up the arms and winning that battle.
Amen. Amen. So, we got a question from one of our viewers. Shout out to our viewers. We appreciate you guys
Thank
for
you.
your
Love y'all guys.
comments,
Thank
your
you.
likes. We love you guys.
Yes.
So, we got a question, and it says, how does one feel of married couples / spouse taking all girls or guys annual or biannual trips? The girls' trips and the guys' trips. How we feel about that, y'all?
I think the first way we should approach this is not necessarily answer that question first, but talk about the importance of friendships
Yes.
in marriage.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's very important to have an inner circle in marriage that you can count on, that you can talk to, that you can spend time
Right.
with. Like
Right.
those things make a difference. Like
Yeah.
I know it's made a difference in my marriage having people I can talk to, having people I can hang out with, because I hear, I've heard, people I know, say, well, me and my wife don't have nobody to hang out with. And I'm like, wow. Like, so when I hear that, it makes me thankful for it, and I try not to take it for granted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's, like you say, it's huge to have that circle.
Right.
And especially with fellas, like, and women, they go through stuff that we don't go through, and we go through stuff they don't go through. And so, to be able to talk to another guy about something and, just shoot it past them and see what their thoughts on different things. Right. And I think that's huge to have that camaraderie and, you know what I'm saying, just to have that brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's huge. Because marriage, like you say, marriage is hard and it takes work. And they might have went through something that you haven't went through, or you
Right.
might have went through something they haven't went
Exactly.
through. So you can help each other out.
Right.
So, yeah.
And sometimes that's why we often say that the things we go through aren't always for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So, having people to talk to and having people to relate with on that level is crucial in marriage, especially in marriage. Because, you want to have somebody to relate to.
It's great to surround yourself with like-minded
Yes.
Christians. That's the key. Like-minded, not just all willy-nilly and telling you all kind of false stuff.
Right.
I mean to that point though, I think sometimes having somebody in your circle not necessarily a believer, it could be helpful for them. Maybe not so much for you, because they're
That's
that
true,
type
too.
of person. They probably not gonna give you advice that's biblical.
Right.
But
But they're learning from you.
yes, they could learn from you. You know what I mean? Like, we not gonna sit up here and pretend all Christian marriages work, because we know that's not the truth. But for us, I just think about it. Like I said before, I realize how rare it is. Like, all of my closest male friends, all of them are married, except two. Like, that is very rare, and I'm not just talking about. I'm not talking about 2 or 3 dudes. I'm talking like 13. Like,
It's a
my
lot.
whole inner circle is married for the most part. So, like, that's a rare thing. You scroll up on social media and you hear and see the way people talk about marriage. Like, it's really, I don't want to say it's a dying institution, but people are really just kind of just giving up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the giving up comes from like the work.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially now, because people, like, if it's just not super great, is not gonna last. But the thing is no marriage is super great until you work to make it super great.
Right.
And so, and it can get there. Like,
Right.
you know, we talk about it all the time. You can't get, like Courtney said at one time, the blissfulness.
Right.
You know, we can get there, but it takes work. And it takes a community, really, to be able to, like you say, have that camaraderie where you can go back and forth with people and talk to them. And I just think that, like you said, with having people who are not saved, you know, still in your group, and it's you know, hearing stuff from their side also. You know, it's not like, you know, we come from a biblical standpoint and everything, but, you know, how do they look at the situation? And, you know, and we help each other, you know what I'm saying? Because none of us have all the answers.
Yeah.
You know, we just trying to get through this thing together and win. So.
And I think it's another reason why I think it's important to be connected with other couples is because, I mean, if you get connected with a couple that you feel secure with, feel, you know, you can confide in and have real conversations, if something's going on between me and her that I can't quite figure out, she doing something I could call Sam and be like, you know, can you talk to me about this from a woman's perspective, you know what I mean? And that's why that's really important. Like when you don't have that, like,
you by yourself, and and we can, like, me and Sam can speak to that because we went through time where it was just us,
right?
I mean, we still don't have outside friends that we fully trust, except for y'all and
family. You know what I'm saying? And it's couples wise. I mean, we have friends, but like I'm not as close to your friends, like all y'all grew up, like y'all are best friends, but they are my friends, we're cousins too. But like I remember a time when it was me and Sam, and the only people we had was the older people. So like you know, who do you
talk to and
bounce
you could
stuff
talk to them, but
but
you really don't want to put your business out there.
Yeah, and we didn't have nobody to bounce it off of, so it was hard in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And, but we made it through.
Yeah.
But it was just not having.
But it was for a purpose.
Yeah.
To help others,
Help
like y'all or whoever.
Because anything somebody been through, we probably been through it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can help other people with it now. So I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. But it was a it was a learning.
I wanted a sister
that
together
was
than my
tough.
sisters.
Yeah, because like you had your sisters and stuff, and I had my brothers and everything, but I can't go talk to them about marriage because
they wasn't married.
Yeah, you don't understand until you get married. Like it's a whole nother world.
Oh, that had to be tough for y'all though, because y'all had the older people, but they were well into their 15, 20 years of marriage to even try to remember what it was like to be
During
married
that
at the
time.
beginning of their marriage. Yeah. Oh, bless your hearts. That had to be rough. That had to be rough.
But I think you should kind of take the lead on answering this question.
Okay. I mean, she ready.
Yeah, because you are the only one that has. Well, I don't know. Have you taken a?
I have not. I've been trying to put one together for years.
She's the only one out of the group that has taken girls' trips.
We need to put one together.
We do.
Yes.
And I do try to.
But I want us to meet up at the end.
Yeah.
Like last time. I want us to meet up at the end.
And that's like.
Well, that'd be kind of hard though, wouldn't it?
No, not if we vacation in the same place.
Well, I'm saying. Well, I guess if we take the same time off and then meet up,
Right.
But even if it don't, it would still be good to have, But you go ahead.
So I can only assume that my friend who posed this question to us had some concerns with their significant other about taking a girls' trip or a guys' trip. So, I mean, I can only speak from my experience with girls' trips because shout out to the crew. What up? We take a girls' trip every year. And that's the thing. So let's start from the beginning, okay? So you have to first surround yourself with people who you know have the same ideas and same foundation as you.
Yeah.
Because once you start adding in other outside energies and entities and things, you don't mesh. But the girls that I go with, Like we all on the same page. 99% of us are married. We all have husbands or somebody, a significant other. So it's not like we taking a trip to let's get crazy, go to a strip club, throw them dollars. No, that's really not what we do. Like, we either crying or, giving advice or just bonding over things that we've all went through, or if somebody's went through that one of us kind of went through and one of us is encouraging the other. Like, that's like our trips. It's not like to go out and to be, it's like a retreat. I wouldn't call it a girls trip. I would call it a retreat, because like the last one, like, we kind of do themes every year. Like, so we get like 2 girls to plan the trip for the year. And last year it was on me and another lady. Shout out to Dita. And the theme was relax, relate, release. And it was all about releasing, because we was going through COVID, we was going through quarantine. We was all stressed out. We was all confined. It was just like releasing all the bad things, releasing all the negative thoughts, and, just enjoying us and trying to get to better us. And I think once you realize that you're with a group of people you feel safe with to open up to, then you can feel comfortable. But speaking from that other side, I can't really speak to, but I think you have to talk to your spouse. Like, if you're having issues with them going, and I think it is important for, guys to go on bonding trips and ladies to go on bonding trips separate from each other. Because then, absence does make the heart grow fonder, of course. But it also gives you a time to gain more estrogen and more testosterone. And when you come back together, you just kind of, releasing and relaxing. But, just going... Just going to, because you want to party.
Your intentions.
Yeah, it's all about your intentions.
You can't be heading out to no strip clubs.
And I think, like, some of my... I guess I'm not gonna say disagreement, but why I didn't do it in the beginning, which I would be open to do it now, just because of who I have around me.
I want brothers and sisters.
And who I have around me, and but why I was opposed to it before would be because all I would hear is like, man, I just want to get away from the wife, man. Let's go get away from the wife and go party. Like, and that never was my mindset. And so I was like, dude, if I gotta do that, I might as well not be married. Like, I'm not trying to go get away, and we just trying to party it up and have a good time and trying to get my rocks off. It's not about that. And so that's why I always was opposed. But now, like, I think with the brotherhood I have now, like, I would be cool. It would be cool now, because I know it'll be more. It's going to be a more male bonding type, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be talking about real stuff and sports, whatever, and marriage and all that good stuff versus, that young mind. And like I say, when we was younger, when we was first married, there was nobody around.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody was still kind of like single. So, like, the guy's trip was...
You was going with a bunch of single dudes.
Yeah.
Right.
And that it wasn't go apply to me.
Right.
But I think that it's huge, like you said in the beginning. It depends on your circle, and that's like you open up at the beginning talking about your friends and everything. And I think it depends on your circle and what y'all gonna be doing. That's huge. And I think that what I gonna say that if your spouse, if it's something that they really it's bothering them for you to do, I don't think you should do it.
Right.
Whether if you agree
Right.
with it or not,
Right.
if your spouse doesn't agree and y'all can't come to an agreement on it, I don't think
You shouldn't
do it. You shouldn't do it. Even if it's not gonna be nothing bad.
Right.
But if they have doubts about it, don't do it.
And if we're honest podcast, and we always tell the truth on here. Truth be told, in the beginning, I didn't want to go on the girls' trip.
Yeah,
I didn't. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to be away from Chris.
Mm-hmm. She did.
And I was like, if I'm gonna go somewhere, I just feel like I need to go with my husband and be with him. And you know, at the end of the night, we can cap it off right. You know,
exactly.
But like, I didn't like in the beginning. I was reluctant to go because I'm like, okay, we can do a day thing. You know, go hang out. You know, get some drinks. You know, go hang out, chill, laugh. You know, but like being away, I was like, But you know, Tisha, my sister, shout out. She had to kind of, you know, nudge me to see like it's not about, you know, what you think it will be. It's about bonding, and it's about, you know, actually growing together. And you know, they bouncing stuff off of me. I'm bouncing stuff. Yeah, and it's not about, you know, being away from Chris. It's about improving yourself
exactly
away from him. So when you get back to him, y'all can be stronger together.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking as the husband on the other side of the girls' trip, I've never had a problem with her going on the trip. Mostly because I trust who she's with. So that's the first thing. Mm-hmm. Like, if she was going with some people that I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be nowhere near as comfortable as I am with it. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, I trust her.
Exactly.
So I think that's where a lot of the hang up is. People kind of just assume that, you know, if my wife go on this all girl trip, she gon'
if they doing it, you gonna be doing it too.
Right. So like, that's, do you truly trust your partner?
Yeah.
So even if she going with a group of girls you don't care nothing about, they all, you know what I mean, like, you don't approve of none of them. Do you trust your wife enough to go even with some people you not
conduct herself in the right way? And that's trust, man.
That's trust.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say I'm, you know, when she go up when it's time for her to go on the trip, I'm doing backflips and cheerleading and happy. No, I'm not, because, you know, I have separation anxiety sets in on me, because I start, you know, devil start messing with me, like, what if something happened to her while she gone? Like, and the worst part of that whole trip is when I lay down in bed at night, because it's a snapshot of what if she wasn't here. And that's my only that's my only problem, because I don't look forward to that. I don't look forward to laying down at night and her not being in the bed.
That's why we're gonna get caught up in the rapture together. Caught up, meet him in there.
That's right. For real.
But yeah, I think it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
if you agree,
right? If you agree,
if you agree,
right.
And if you're the one that wants to go, but your partner doesn't want you to go, then that responsibility falls on you to do everything you can to make your spouse comfortable with it. But if they don't get comfortable with it,
because you dealing with, like, it's not just so much of them just get comfortable. Like, if you really know them,
right,
you know what their past and what they've dealt with, whether it's insecurity issues, whether it's, you know, things they've been hurt in the past in that situation. So you have to understand that also, and that's just getting to know your spouse. You know what I'm saying? It's really not a right or wrong answer to the question, but it's it's just really like it boils down to y'all relationship, and how you feel about it, you know. But yeah,
I remember when Uncle was doing our counseling before we got married, and I don't know what the conversation was, but he said something to the fact, like, if your spouse got a problem with it,
you got a problem.
Then you should have a problem with it. And we've used that, like, over the years, like
that's one of our building blocks, man. Like,
bruh,
you can't cross that. Like, no, whether you agree with it or not, you know, as far as, because that's just it's gonna cause heartache and pain. Like, why would you do something your spouse don't agree with it?
And
like, that's gonna create even more doubt.
You know what happens though in situations like this? Let's just use a trip as the example. The person that wants to go on the trip will say that the person that doesn't want them to go has control issues. But in reality, you do too.
Yeah, because
Both of you do.
Yeah.
You're still trying to go.
Right. Because you still trying to go
Right.
despite how they
You
feel.
can't
Like,
separate it. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But when Uncle Odell said that, he was basically letting us see that you are one.
Yeah.
You are together as one. That's why a husband leaves his father and mother to be cleaved to his wife. You are one. So if one of y'all got a problem with it, then you both got a problem with it. If Adam got a problem with it, you Adam. Both of y'all is Adam. Like, both of y'all should have a problem with it. And it's tough to see that when we're still trying to live independently of marriage.
Yeah.
And independently of who we are together.
Yeah.
It goes back to our Room 521. Ephesians 5:21. Love one another in the fear of God. So like you say, you hit the nail on the head. It goes to a submission thing. Are you willing to submit to better your relationship with your spouse?
that means men, us too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men submit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just on the woman to submit. We have to submit also. Christ, as husbands, we have to love our wives as Christ loved the church, and Christ submitted. He submitted his life. He submitted everything.
Didn't have to.
Didn't have to, bro. Like, he had all power, and he submitted. And and he showed submission all the time when he washed the disciples' feet on the beach and cooked them fish. Like, he was showing his humility and being a servant leader.
Right.
So you still a leader, but as a good leader, you're a servant first.
Right.
And so if your spouse, either or, man or woman, if they're not in agreement with it, you have to. How do you lead?
Right.
As a man, I'm talking to men now. How do you lead? By example. So if a woman, let's say you want to go on a guy's trip and your wife don't want you to, that's a perfect example to lead. Okay, baby, I understand. Whatever you insecurities, whatever it is. So I'm gonna honor your decision, and we'll have a good time together here. Instead of, well, why you don't want to let me go? Why you want to do that? So now if it's, I'm coming from an insecure perspective. If you arguing with me about it, well, why do you really want to go? Why you gotta go on this trip? You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that. So it's so you submit. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. So we go do something together and go from there. That's leading. That's leading. It's not telling her, well, I'm going.
Right.
That's not leading. You know what I'm saying? It's submitting to her needs and
To one another.
to be better as a couple. Because at the end of the day, those people not coming back to your house.
Exactly.
You going back to her house, or you going back to his house. So
Right.
it's you want to make that better. What they say, a happy wife is a happy life.
But let me ask a question to the fellas though, like, because you would think, like, and I know not all men, I know y'all don't care about nothing like that, but some men do have trouble with, like, your boys, like, hey man, you coming? We going on this awesome trip. Let's just say we going to Vegas. We going to Vegas, man. We gonna have a ball, bruh. What do you say to them? Oh man, my wife don't want me to go. Like, how do y'all say it?
I'm just gonna say I don't want to go. I'm not gonna put it on my wife.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put it. I'm just saying, nah, I'm good. I'm not going.
I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? That I don't have no problem saying.
And I mean, they can
Don't.
They can assume whatever.
Yeah, they
wanna
can assume
Yeah.
whatever they want to assume. But if I know it ain't good enough in my house for my wife to be comfortable enough for me to go,
And say I'm not
I'm
going
good,
to
bro.
Vegas anyway with no fellas. Look, I'm sorry, my friends out there. We ain't doing no Vegas trip. We ain't doing no cruise.
No.
right?
We ain't doing none of
It's just certain things I want to do with my wife.
Yes,
Like,
I'm not doing those with the fellas. Like, now we go get a cabin. We
Yes.
go do stuff like
Right.
that.
Yes,
go to
absolutely.
basketball
We
games,
go to
sporting
Charlotte,
events,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Beach,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Some
bruh.
stuff I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing with the fellas. Cause
Because you want to cap that night all right.
exactly, man.
Know where your head
I want to
is.
take that bonnet off.
The bonnet stays on.
Oh Lord, no, it don't. Now when we go to Vegas,
Sam, we
are not taking no bonnet when we go to Vegas.
I have one with diamonds on it.
No bonnet is going with us when we go to Vegas. None whatsoever.
We really need to get on. Somebody might steal an idea. I ain't gonna say
No,
that.
don't say
I ain't gonna say that.
Say that.
Yeah, we gonna say that.
Well, your bonnets, I do.
Yep.
I got an
As a
idea about
distributor.
you, but we ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah.
But yeah,
silly.
so I mean, like we said, and as far as the scripture you read, that was a perfect description of surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
let me say this. So what would we say to the individual? Like, we just said a lot of stuff, right? But to this particular individual, what advice would we give them?
To first, I would say to talk to your spouse.
Sit down with your
Sit
spouse.
down with your spouse and
Have a serious
Yeah,
conversation.
find
Right.
out what is the issue.
Right.
You know why don't you want me to go? And if they explain it to them, like, you know, whatever the case may be, even if it's I don't trust you, like,
Right.
Ooh.
that's a real
That needs to be
Right.
known.
Yeah,
Right.
That needs to
you
be
need
known.
to hear that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say it is I don't trust you. Well, why don't you trust me? Like,
Right.
how can I make it better for you? Not even at that point, we going beyond the trip.
It's a
not-
larger
Yeah.
issue
Right.
then.
It's not
gotta
about
be.
it's not
Right.
about the
It's gotta
trip.
Now it's about, okay, what can I do to help you heal in that part? Is
Yeah.
it stuff from the past? Is it stuff I've done?
Right.
You know, that's when you in that part, men or women, you submitting. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to make it better. It's hard to hear the truth sometimes.
Right.
And if I'm the other person, well, let's say I'm that person, and I'm asking them and why. But also, you need to let that person know, I need you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
Because if there's something other underlying that we
Right.
really need to work on, we need to work on. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, if it is a trust issue, so why don't you trust me? Why this, whatever.
Yep.
And we can work on that. And then for that person, I would say that they should, talk to their spouse. Find out what's going on. And then it might just be something, it could be, I don't like the people you going
Right.
Right.
with. You know what I'm saying?
So
Now,
what do you say to that though?
if they don't like the people they're going with?
Yeah, if you don't like my friends.
Yeah. So it depends on what they say. Like, if they say, well, you know what they do. They get together, they do this, they do that. You know what I'm saying? They're not acting like, let's say they're not married.
Right.
They out there partying. They going
Right.
to the strip club, whether it's male or female.
Right.
They doing all this stuff, and I don't agree with that. I don't think you should be in that environment. That's okay. So now
You got to wait it.
Yep.
that's a legitimate argument
That's
because
for real.
if the people they're trying to go with, their friends, if they're not married and they are doing that,
Right.
that's a
You
problem.
don't
Check
need
your
to
circle.
go.
You don't need to go anyway. But,
Check your
but
circle.
let's go on the other side. Let's say the friends are cool. They legit.
Right.
Well, evidently there's a disconnect. Let's say that
Right.
first, where they don't know the friends enough. You know what I'm saying? They don't know them good enough to, like you said, you trust who Courtney's going with.
Right.
And like if saying go, I trust the people she would go with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like in this, I know she's not gonna do nothing crazy. Now, does that still gonna give me thoughts? Just because who I am, I know it will, but
Right.
we can work through that. But you have to, they need to get to know the friends better if that's a problem. If they are good friends and you just want to go, y'all just want to hang out.
And sometimes you got to put your trust to the test.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to really say, it's easy for me to say I
Yeah.
trust you,
Boy.
but sometimes
When it's
you
time
got
to do.
sometimes you got to test it.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
you
put
do.
your faith in action.
Yeah.
And it's like I was gonna say I think about something. Like I say in the beginning, I wouldn't want to do a guy's trip. You know what I'm saying? But now I would
Right.
with the guys I'm around. That's huge.
Right.
So maybe they need to do a couples trip.
Right.
Right.
Those
Start
are
off,
couples.
yeah.
And
Right.
get to know
each other.
Right.
Because the people we're gonna go with are people we've been on couples trips.
Right.
with.
Yeah.
And
Right.
my wife
that same
knows them.
circle.
I know the people. Yeah, so it's gonna be a whole lot easier because we've been around each other together and
Right.
we know how we conduct around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I think you could start there.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope to that particular viewer, I hope you took something from this. Hope you got something, hope you got what you was looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say to the person, just be patient
Right.
with your significant other.
Yes.
And don't just talk to reply, but listen to what they're saying when they're talking, to kind of understand and put yourself in their shoes if that's the problem that they have. But just talk it out. Just talk it out. Like, even when it hurt, talk it out.
You got to.
Talk it out.
That's
Exactly.
huge. Just communication.
Right.
Yeah.
That will solve. Communication solves a lot of stuff because you can't. From the other person's perspective, they can't hide their feelings,
Right.
Because you never resolve it,
Right.
And then the other person, they have to talk to them.
You can't
to
grow.
find out what it is. Yeah, you can't grow. But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nah,
Nope.
I'm gonna toast it up to our kings and
We can wrap this
queens.
one up.
Toast it up. Hey, y'all send us some more questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send us
we
some
love
questions,
this, yeah.
Send us
more
more-
topics.
Yeah,
and
and like you can, if you don't want to send it in the messenger, you can send it in email.
Yep.
I can't remember. What's the email, Chris?
Room521 at gmail.com.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Room521. Room521 at
But
we're on
Email us your
Facebook,
questions.
Twitter,
Instagram.
all of them.
Yeah.
So-
Tweet us, at us.
Yeah,
All of
We'll
that.
see it. We'll see it.
And
But
we'll-
don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
Spread the word, guys.
Yeah.
We are here.
Share,
for you.
share.
Like,
you.
share.
hit that notification bell.
Sharing is caring.
So you won't miss any podcast.
None.
We got some good stuff coming up in the next couple of months. Some vlogs. I hope you guys enjoyed our family vlog.
Yeah.
We got some more individual couple vlogs coming. Taking some more trips. But be on the lookout, guys. And we love y'all.
We love y'all.
We love y'all.
Love
So
y'all
let's toast it up
infinity.
to the kings and queens. Clink, 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 clink.
And remember to
To
keep
love
alive. Peace.
peace.
That water good.